Peaq Network, a promising layer 1 built on top of Polkadot, just announced an absolutely massive announcement. And this is what we're going to be diving in this video, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be looking at the announcement between Peaq Network and Mastercard. Polkadot has one of the richest ecosystems in the entire cryptocurrency space. Peaq Network is a great showcase of that. Polkadot is really a general purpose resource that allows people to utilize and harness a distributed ledger for whatever use case it is that they see fit. We have teams working on solving digital identity in the form of Kilt protocol. We've got teams working on AI like Origin Trail. We also have teams looking to compete with the likes of Amazon, Nvidia, so on and so forth in regards to compute. We've got data storage teams like Crust. We've got entire chains focused on DeFi. We've got gaming chains. Polkadot quite literally has everything. And Peaq Network is Polkadot's DePIN layer 1. And this announcement is absolutely huge. Now, I do believe the Peaq token was just available over on CoinList. So that means we are going to start to see Peaq tokens hitting the exchanges soon. And this is a project I am nothing short of bullish on. And a monumental partnership with Mastercard is just another step in the right direction for this layer 1. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's just do a short recap in regards to what Peaq Network actually is. So Peaq Network, as I'd previously mentioned, is a layer 1 focused on DePIN. Now, what the hell is DePIN? Some of you may be asking. DePIN stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure. Now, the internet is only made possible through physical infrastructure. So we've all heard about these big sort of server farms, data farms, computing farms that essentially enable all the activities that take place on the internet to do exactly that. Now, the problem with the current infrastructure that we have is it is essentially owned by 3 large companies out there. It's kind of the same problem that Bitcoin sought to address with money itself and the kind of centralized nature of it. And through the application of a distributed ledger, we are enabling a decentralized alternative to money or the monetary system or the store of value system. DePIN is the same idea of doing that, incentivizing people through a distributed ledger to use their resources like the Bitcoin miners to enable things like a compute marketplace, a compute system, or something like data storage, or things like IoT, which will essentially gather data that can be very useful for things like AI, so on and so forth. And that is essentially what Peaq Network is trying to do. The unique thing about Peaq Network is you have individual DePIN projects out there, but they can't connect with one another, whereas Peaq is looking to come up with this ecosystem of DePIN projects that is really going to enable things like IoT, the Internet of Things, which will be here before you know it. Right now, we're communicating on the Internet of People, and there's a large amount of data that is generated from that that is exceptionally valuable. We are going to move to a world where machines talk to one another. Peaq Network is already enabling this. They have partnerships with the likes of Bosch and so on and so forth. And the data that will be derived from these machines will solve many of the problems that today's world is facing. There is a bit of a pushback with this whole thing in regards to this kind of dystopian future that we may be moving towards. But like with all technological advancements, there's going to be pros and cons. So let's dive into the Mastercard announcement, the Mastercard partnership with Peaq Network. So if we go over to Peaq's Twitter, you can see Peaq and Mastercard. Peaq has been selected for Mastercard's award-winning Start Path program to explore synergies and opportunities between the DePIN sector and the world, traditional finance and fintech. Traditional finance, TradFi infrastructure can massively accelerate DePIN adoption by tapping Mastercard's extensive network and user base. Peaq aims to leverage existing traditional infrastructure to scale DePIN to billions of users and machines while staying true to the Web3 value. From agricultural marketplaces, FarmScent.io to machine tokenization, Tenio protocol to mapping noise pollution with Silencio network, and dozens more, Peaq is taking its place as the blockchain of choice for DePIN builders. With Mastercard, Peaq will explore how DePINs in its ecosystem can leverage this integration to drive mass adoption much faster and with less friction. The Start Path program, which has supported the likes of Revolut, will bring new opportunities to DePINs in the Peaq ecosystem for securing strategic partnerships to community building, fundraising, and more. What will Peaq and Mastercard explore? enabling machines on Peaq's native DPINs to leverage Mastercard's network and functionality, streamlining transactions between the Peaq ecosystem and the fiat space, tapping Mastercard's network for new partnerships and collaborations. Sabrina Tharani, SVP of Global FinTech Programs at Mastercard, commented saying, as digital assets become increasingly mainstream, Mastercard is embracing opportunities to support and collaborate with FinTech to build the future of blockchain and digital asset innovation through the Start Path engagement program. Mastercard has selected Peaq to join its ecosystem of innovation and will provide opportunities to access its network of partnerships, mentorship opportunities and resources to support their scaling journey. So this is pretty huge. If we go over to an actual official blog that was published by Peaq Network, we can also see we had comment from Till Wender, who is the co-founder of Peaq. As smooth and familiar user experience is critical for DPIN and Web3 adoption, the Mastercard Start Path will help pave the way to easy interactions between DPINs and traditional services, enabling millions of Web2 natives to join this transition. The world is moving forward Web2 to Web3. Incumbents have a choice: adapt or become irrelevant. So this, of course, is certainly news I'm excited about, and we thought we'd make a video on it. This is going to potentially bring millions of users to Peaq Network and millions of devices potentially interacting with Peaq's ecosystem. And on top of that, it also opens up the gateway to Polkadot more broadly. Peaq Network is just another amazing example of just how diverse Polkadot's ecosystem is and how fit for purpose Polkadot is in regards to carrying out tasks that are looking to use and utilize a distributed ledger. With implementation of Jam, Polkadot is really positioning itself as a global computer that is looking to enable the transition from Web 2 to Web 3, and I hope you're all on board for that journey. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it from me. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next.